Okay, let's have a bit of game 2 on Death Aura again. Here is Oracle in the top left. Here is Matticus in the bottom right. Yeah, so what we saw in the last game was Matticus essentially placed straight up while Oracle went for early ling pressure and almost had success, but just didn't. So, you know, the mistakes were kind of essentially dithering with the micro on those lings. If you can get the lings past the front door, you know, run right past the units, don't stand and fight, kill workers. That's what you're trying to achieve. And don't stop that production. If you do get in through the front door, you know, make sure the next wave of lings is coming behind that. But there didn't appear to be a follow-up. To be honest, Oracle, I just, you know, ling all-ins, I don't know. They can work and they can get you a free win, but you know, it costs so much. You, like as Zerg, the way to play Zerg in general is to be ahead economically, is to be taking up more of the map and just out producing your opponent. You throw lings away, you just throw wave after wave. You know, if you're going to play a ling heavy style, you just throw wave after wave of lings against your opponent and they trade, and your opponent kills them but they lose some stuff. And you just outproduce them, you just wear them down with that endless flood of lings. But to do that, you need to be ahead economically. You need to have your natural up mining and be dropping your third when your opponent expands. So, you know, in general, when you're playing Zerg, you're up on 3 bases by like 3 minutes or whatever, or something silly like that. You don't hesitate to drop another hatchery. So, you know, going pull first, you really have to make it worthwhile. You really have to. And, you know, this game, you've got 6 lings on the map. They're making their way across. You're dropping this proxy hatch. I'm not sure if this is going to work. If this is, you know, this definitely can work. I'm not against this. I'd like the proxy hatch to be down a lot earlier. But nevertheless, here it is. So we'll see how this gets on. But look, there's no further lings in production, and these lings are chasing this one worker about instead of trying to get busy in the men. So a couple of lings do manage to run past, but don't attack a building. You know, nibble at workers. You need to lower the income of your opponent. You need to do economic damage. You don't want, you know, lings fighting zealots. Unless you have overwhelming numbers, that is never going to be good. The zealot just wins, and that is bad. That's bad for you. It isn't good. So, yeah, you know, there's some nice ideas here. I don't mind the idea of this. There's a couple of workers here that are going to head back. You need to grab those and pull them back down here. You know, if you turn those into spine crawlers, then maybe you can get something done. But you know, the ling production is kind of lacking a little bit. It's been patchy. There's no queens. Oh no! You know, a queue of queens. That's so expensive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 queens. 750 minerals of queen just queued up like that. An Oracle. You need overlords in production because you're about to be supply blocked. It's just not polished enough to work. Speed has only just started at the almost, you know, 4 minutes, and these lings are currently doing nothing. If this stuff moves out though, there's every chance Oracle just surrounds this and wins. Yeah, kill that stalker, kill that dad, bring the queen forward, drop the creep. You've got enough lings here to actually get some stuff done. Now, he almost did the run past initially and then sort of changed his mind. There's a lot of running about here with no attacking. What's even happening there? Were those lings kind of on some sort of weird move command or something? But anyway, he has successfully reset the army supply of the Protoss. You know, there isn't a single unit on the map right now for Protoss. there are somewhere 4 lings, and that's about all. So, you know, needs to get involved with these queens. Get the queen coming forward. These lings, I don't know, man. You need numbers. You don't want to drip feed the lings in. It's going to take quite a few lings to focus on a cannon, and it's not getting support from the queens. The queens can do it if you bring them forward. Have the queens attacking the cannon while the lings run in past or something. A lot of lings, you know, 2 at a time is just achieving nothing. You need to build them up in numbers and send them in all at once. So I'll be honest, this is a bit horrible to watch on. All I see here is just lings dying. Look, this one stalker might go down eventually if Matticus doesn't pull it back. It isn't even gonna. I will. And I don't know, there's another one waiting to take its place. This just hasn't worked. And these queens, you know, nothing happening. Creep, we need creep spreading. We need creep spreading over here. There's 3 queens here. What are they for? What are they doing? I don't know. There's no crawlers. Yeah, 16 more lings in production. Is it going to help? It just seems unlikely. Especially not if you send them in 4 at a time. You know, there's more, like, the same number of stalkers as there are lings just isn't going to work. You know, 4 lings costs, what, 100 minerals? 4 stalkers, you know, 4 stalkers is 500 minerals and 100 gas. It's just... it's a much better army, you know what I mean? So that is a win though. Cleaned up the stalkers. Matticus floating quite a few minerals, and I'm seeing idle gateways here, which is so I don't know if he's a bit thrown by this, but you know, he should be feeling pretty comfortable. There's no worker production going on either side of the map, which is I'll be honest, slightly disappointing. These lings that are flooding in, you know, Oracle, you don't really have the mineral income to support this endless flood because you never got a natural, and yeah, even the men isn't quite saturated, and you just don't have the hatcheries, you don't have the larvae to provide to do this. So I don't know, it's hard to see this getting broken. There is a Hydra den building here, which just seems weird. The links, it just doesn't look like they're going to get in, does it? You know, so sort of continually sending in these smallish numbers of lings to get beaten just doesn't seem to be a productive thing to do. What I'd love to see is some creep spread and some of these workers turned into spine crawlers. What's interesting is from this position, I mean, Matticus could send stalkers up here and kill these workers. Similarly, if the Overlord came across, this queen could be attacking this gateway. So I don't know about coming out the front, Matticus. You don't really need to. You can just kind of sit tight until you've got the right units. Immortal's coming out, and you know, Immortal's great, but I'd love to see like just even one Colossus would just negate the lings completely, and you would trade really efficiently. Then you just wouldn't lose anything. But as it is, this is all going to get cleaned up, and the Hydralisk then is going to be lost. And why did you build it here and not here? I don't understand. All of this is going to die. It looks like the Overlords are as well. They're not getting pulled back, so every chance that Oracle actually unnecessarily loses 400 minerals worth of Overlord into the mix if these stalkers just come forward and shoot them. GG. Yeah. Yeah. GG.